So I just got done defending a pretty high-profile case that I think most of the world knows about. And a lot of folks have been asking a lot of questions, and usually I don't talk about the cases, but in this situation, given the negative attention and the vitriol and the racist threats and the death messages that myself and my family, I thought I'd address some things. And one of the biggest ones people have asked me is, why would you take on this representation? Now, first, I've been practicing law for 25 years. Here recently and shortly, and actually throughout that entire time, I've represented 3 African American males who are accused of raping a little white girl. I have represented an individual who was accused of killing a person, folding his body and sticking him in an abandoned building in Florence, South Carolina. I represented a young lady who was accused of killing and drowning her newborn baby. I have represented countless individuals who have been accused of criminal sexual conduct, countless individuals who have been accused of child pornography. I represent an individual in Florence who was accused of murder, killing his rival along with his wife, who was also in the car. So there have been countless individuals who I've represented in the past, and so when someone says, why did you take this case? I don't judge. God judges. If you pick and choose who are you going to judge in your cases, it makes you ineffective of what you're doing. And so people say, why this case? Well, why not any of those ones with the outrage that has come forth? As criminal defense attorneys, we represent the Constitution, we represent individuals. And so when people say comments to me, and I've heard a lot of them, like, you didn't have to take this one. Well, I don't have to pay my mortgage either, but if you don't, they end up taking that from you. When the individual came to me and requested representation, that's the second thing. Oh, you're just a token. You were just put on the team because you're black. I'm pretty fucking good at what I do, and I find insult to that for someone who would just say the only reason somebody would ask me for representation is because I'm black. If you check and see the things that I do, I am very damn good at what I do, and I'm a very good lawyer, and I will not apologize for being somebody when someone needs, they contact and want a good lawyer. And the assumption is, which I hate, when someone says they want the best lawyer, by saying that you're saying the best lawyer can't be African American. That's disappointing on our parts. As far as the legal defense, when a person comes to us and says the following sentence, look, a gun was pointed at my son, I thought he was going to die, so I fired and shot. That was the legal defense. There was nothing creative, there was nothing tricky, there was nothing fancy. That was the legal defense. Nothing was hidden. I don't want people to say there was all this great stuff. That was the legal defense. This was presented to a jury of 12 individuals, 7 of which were minorities, who heard that legal defense and said, yeah, that makes sense. I didn't create those facts. I'm also hearing, finally, probably most importantly, that people are saying we need to boycott Sean Kent. I'm not fucking Target. I'm not TJ Maxx. You're going to boycott me, and then someone says we're going to boycott him and we're going to take our problems to a white lawyer. Okay, yeah, that'll show me that we don't need him. Well, enjoy jail, enjoy prison, boycott me if you will, but I will constantly and always fight for what's right. People sending the messages, and there have been some there have been some creative messages. I guess the number ones is that you have no eyebrows and stuff like that, which I know is true. So there have been some very creative messages, but there have also been some insulting ones, and there's been a lot of people who have requested phone calls, and I've talked to them. If somebody sends me a message and it's nice and polite and say, I just disagree with what you do, I've picked up the phone and I've talked to them, because I do think a system works better if you have an actual intelligent conversation. I do think there are problems with the way, and let me make this clear. The state of South Carolina did everything that they needed to do in this case. They tried their damnedest to present the case that they wanted to present. There's some very good lawyers in that office who I respect tremendously, and I know they're getting a lot of hate also, which I think is unfair, because they do what they have to do, as do we, and that's what makes the system work. If we do not fight for everybody equally, then the system fails and stops to work. I hate it, and I hate it for the young man's family. I hate it for Cyrus's family. I hate it that a young man died. I 100% do. Prosecutor said some stuff that there's a lot of things he is not going to be able to experience in his But I do. It saddens me. It saddens me that a young life has been snuffed out entirely too early, and I think, whether people believe it or not, the defendant would agree with that. He felt that he was in a situation that something had to be done, or his son would be dead now. That's his position. People disagree with it, but that's his position. And a 12-member jury heard that position and said the same. So, again, people who are telling me, I'm getting a lot of the last one. I can't believe you defended that racist, you fucking coon. Racist, you fuck. And you rat. And I finally figured out what those little emojis are that you're putting on my page. I guess that's supposed to be a coon. You're a sellout, you're a racist. And I'm just like, am I a sellout by showing the world that, you know what? I'm really good at what I do, and I'm going to fight like crazy for you or for anyone else. And so all of the threat messages and all the other situations, I hope down the road, if you need a lawyer, someone is there for you, and you get a really damn good lawyer, the best one you can be. And I hope someday we get to the point in our society where we say the best lawyers in the world have to be white and not necessarily black or people of color. We start to realize that good lawyers come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. And this is the task that we have chosen. This is the job we have chosen. This is the obligation that we have taken on, and this is one that I'll take on. I hate it though. I hate the hate, and I hate the fact that we cannot look past and realize that sometimes people can be good lawyers and still good people. So maybe we'll do a live if anyone thinks that's necessary. And by the way, put your hate comments. Tell me how much of a piece of shit I am. Tell me how bad my eyebrows, my big teeth, all the other stuff. I'm fine. Put those down there. Say all the nasty stuff you want to say. But maybe it would be interesting to have a Instagram or Facebook Live where we can take questions so people can ask questions. Because there is a lot that the world doesn't know. There's a lot that we don't know about Cyrus, Rick Chow. There's a lot that we do not know about these individuals. But if there's people who have questions about the case and the legal defense and why we did the things that we did, I'll happily answer them. Take care.
Hold up. Is this the can't stop, won't stop man? Honey, he no A's unto me. This is Chow's lawyer. So you mad at Asians? Wrong fucking answer. One of your own got that verdict. You ain't mad at us. One bit, are you? I think this is the take that man during all the Diddy stuff. I don't want to get the line, but I really think that's the same guy. I could be confused. If I'm confused, that's okay. Please forgive me. But this is the one. Y'all left that out of social media. You mad at Asians, but you left this shit up here out. Don't worry, I'll post it for you.
To my black people, when are we going to realize that we're never going to be treated fair in this country? The justice system isn't to protect us, it's to control us. We have to get back to physically fighting people and stop resorting to deadly violence unless it's truly necessary to protect our lives. The criminal justice system isn't fair to us, and the consequences are always life-changing. A fight, okay, you got a couple of hurt feelings here, a couple of bruises there, and you might go to jail for a couple of days. But, if you're really that embarrassed, go fight them again and go fight them again. You don't have to resort to killing, which is with a killing. Now you got a dead person. You finna go to prison probably for the rest of your life. And we got multiple families destroyed forever. It's not fair to us, and it's never going to be fair to us. If a non-black person was to kill one of us, they're going to find a way to protect them, and they're going to be off scot-free. Whereas the roles were reversed, and we go off and kill a non-black person, they're trying to give us the book. Hell, they're trying to kill us. We have to really find other ways to protect ourselves if a situation does escalate to some sort of violence.
In America, it's a common phrase to say everything is about race. Because of the foundation of how this country was created, a lot of people feel like everything stems from a race perspective because of it's just etched in America's fabric. I'm sure everyone is aware by now of the situation that happened in Columbia, South Carolina, with the gas station owner and the young man who, he removed from this earth. The store owner, Rick Chow, is an Asian man. I'm not sure which specific ethnicity, Chinese, Japanese, etc., but he's Asian. The young man who he unleashed his firearm on was a young black man named Cyrus Carmack Belton. Now, I don't want to get into the subject matter of the case, I said, well, all we need to know is the gas station owner, shot the young man. But what I want to discuss is the representation Mr. Rick Chow had as an attorney. He hired a very popular defense attorney in South Carolina who's a black man named Sean Kent. Now, there is some speculation, well, not speculation, but people are talking, especially some legal experts and attorneys and whatnot, have said that the state of South Carolina tried the wrong charge, that they tried the case for murder. And for murder in South Carolina, you have to prove that there's not passion, but the intent to kill. Like you have to be able to prove it, whether somebody said it, whether they, that's the point you have to prove with murder. There's no first degree, second degree in South Carolina. That is what it is. And they said they should have charged involuntary manslaughter. They probably would have won the case if they had done that. But they didn't. They charged for murder. But the attorney, Sean Kent, is a black man defending the Asian man. And he won the case. The Asian man was found not guilty of murder. People are sending death threats to him and his family because he was a black attorney defending an Asian man who killed a young black man. And this goes back to the foundation of the video, people saying everything is about race. And this is one of those things, in my opinion, where it shouldn't be. I'm not talking about, again, the subject of the case, but an attorney, y'all telling him he shouldn't take a case because he's black is asinine. And I saw a reaction video, a response video he did to all the threats and comments he's getting. And he's saying that Mr. Chow, or anybody for that matter, if they want to hire the best attorney, and it's a situation where race relations is a part of the case, but the person they want to hire is a black man, the black man shouldn't take, if he's considered one of the best, he shouldn't take the job because the case is around race. That's ridiculous. And I agree 100% with him. As an attorney, yes, some people approach the gig. They do approach cases with certain things in mind. Yes, that happens. But an attorney's true job is to defend the law, either for a plaintiff or a defendant. Like that is the job. I don't like that man is getting treated like this, as if he's some traitor just by representing someone in court, some race traitor. That's insane. I'm not telling you not to be upset. This is America. You can feel how you want to feel. But to send that man death threats as if he betrayed a race, better yet his race, come on, man. He's a talented attorney who got the job done. That's it. The outcome isn't what any of us wanted, but at the end of the day, that man is a talented attorney who won his case. That's it. Leave that man's family alone. Leave him alone. And if anything, if you have trouble with the law, you might want to hire him.
I don't think he was hired because he was black. I think he was hired because he wins cases. Go watch his closing argument. It's abundantly clear why he was hired. But do I also think that hiring a black attorney had the added benefit of taking some of the steam out of the argument that the Chows are racist and that's why they killed Cyrus? Well, yes. Another point I'd like to cover is how malice was always going to be difficult to prove in this case. So in South Carolina, murder requires malice. And if you watch the video, Andy exits the store first and then Rick Chow follows behind him. The defense therefore could argue that he wasn't chasing Cyrus to kill him. They argued that Rick Chow was actually just chasing them because he wanted to see what his son Andy was doing. He wanted to know what was going on. So then after Rick Chow shot Cyrus, there was further testimony that after Rick Chow shot Cyrus, he performed CPR on Cyrus, he performed mouth to mouth, and according to the testimony, he was actually spitting out Cyrus's vomit as he was trying to save his life. That taken together with Andy leaving first means proving malice. It just wasn't a slam dunk in this case. So that's why a lot of people are asking, well, why weren't other charges added? Prosecutors stack charges all the time. They'll charge 4 different types of murder. They'll add manslaughter. They'll add every charge in the book so that something sticks. They do it in many, many cases, but they didn't do it here. This murder or nothing strategy was definitely a gamble that worked in favor of the defense. So after all that is said and done, where does this leave the family? A not guilty verdict cannot be appealed. The criminal case is done. Now, could the current Department of Justice step in and take the case? Yes. Will they? Absolutely not. The family is exploring a civil wrongful death lawsuit, so it does sound like they will be suing the Chow family for the wrongful death of their son Cyrus. And reportedly, the store is no longer owned and operated by the Chows.
I'm back. I was wondering, how could Sean Kent, a black man, defend Rick Chow and be able to watch Cyrus's mom every day in court? I know everyone is entitled to fair representation under the law, but that would be the equivalent of me being a lawyer and defending a known rapist or child molester. And I know this motherfucker guilty. Then, after reading a lot of the comments in my videos, and witnessing how quick a lot of you assimilated ass Negroes will either come into the defense of the disrespectful races I was speaking about, or bringing up the false narrative of black on black crime as if other races don't commit violence against each other at a comparable percentage rate. And I realized Harriet Tubman would have shot some of you Sambo ass niggas. It's a known fact that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Malcolm X said it best. Sometimes fruit falls from a tree and rolls so far away from the tree that it's no longer a part of the tree. That's some of our people in a nutshell. As much as I would love to have all black Americans on the same accord, all black Native Americans on the same accord, that shit just ain't gonna happen. But fear not, there is a solution. We have to value quality over quantity. There are around 50 million black people in the United States. All we need is around 5% of the black population, which is about 2.5 million. Black people, in order to bring about real economic growth and change. The Middle Eastern country, Qatar, I think I'm pronouncing it right, has a population of right at 3 million, a wealthy nation. Israel, a wealthy nation, has a population of a little over 9 million. Switzerland, a financial hub, has a population of a little over 9 million. And Mauritius, a small African nation, it has a financial tech section that's taken off, and their population is only 1.2 million. We don't need the entire race, especially in the beginning. All we need is a concentrated amount of people, all on the same accord or page. Y'all be blessed.
One thing that I've learned as a black law student who is about to graduate, I want to go into criminal defense. One thing I've learned from this Rick Chow murder trial is that the love of money really is the root of all evil. The love of money really is the root of all evil. Because there are some attorneys who will go out there and try to justify the murder of a child that could be their own just for some money. And you know, it's just reminding me, not all money is good money. You don't have to take every case. You don't have to take every case, especially when taking that case involves betraying people who look like you, who could have been you only a few decades ago. It's crazy.
The United States has a long history of injustice against black people. That's well documented. This case with the Asian gas station owner, Rick Chow, right here in the great state of South Carolina and Columbia, where they falsely profiled a 14-year-old kid. He was just a kid. Profiled him, chased him out of a store, shot him in the back. I don't think a lot of black people expected any type of real justice in the situation. But it's one thing that stood out for me in this case. It was the black lawyer that Rick Chow hired. It was a black man. And I didn't watch the case. I don't know how good he was. But immediately upon seeing him being represented by a African-American lawyer, a black man, it was just weird to me. But if you think about it, the psychology of it, you have an all-white jury, people who, live in the South, and who probably close to being racist or no racist. And the first thing that would pop into their mind when they see that Rick Chow has a black lawyer is he can't be racist. He got a black man. That's just psychology, and it was actually a kind of a very heady move by him. Diabolical, actually. But if I'm a black lawyer in the state of South Carolina, I love my people, and there is no fucking way that I would have represented this man in the killing of a 14-year-old child. This is a very sad situation. It bothers me. Obviously I got 6 kids, and I would hate to see harm come to any one of them. I know white people feel the same way about their children. Asian people feel the same way about their children. And this is ghastly, diabolical work. Kid had a gun, but, obviously it was, more stuff than I didn't even want to look into it too deeply. But I did see that he had a black lawyer, and that man represented this Asian man who, ran a 14-year-old kid down and shot him in the back. And, as a black man, there's no fucking way I could have represented him. I don't know what type of time that man was on, but no way. Ain't no fucking way. I just don't understand that. Sad times we live in.
And my issue isn't just that he defended Rick Chow in court. It's the fact that when he got up on this app, it became very clear to me that white wife and all, he completely understands why he specifically was asked to act as his counsel. He completely understands how having an unambiguous black man representing that family in court is beneficial to their case, which means he also understands why Cyrus was followed around in the store to begin with, why he was asked to put his bag at the front, why he was chased 130 fucking yards before anything happened. So I don't really give a fuck what he has to say. Non-coons also have mortgage.
Guys, one of the biggest conversations surrounding the Rick Chow case right now isn't just about Rick Chow himself, it's about the lawyer representing him. Across social media, many Black Americans have been expressing frustration, disappointment, and even sense of betrayal after learning that a black lawyer is part of the Rick Chow defense team. Now, it's important to remember that lawyer represents all kind of clients in the legal system, and everybody has a right to a lawyer, but this felt like a calculated move, and many people online are asking whether having a black lawyer on the defense team changes how the public view the case. Some believe it creates a narrative that could make it harder to discuss concerns about race. Others argue that people are reading too much into it and that lawyers' race should not have anything to do with the facts of the case. And what makes this conversation so emotional is history behind it. For many Black Americans, issues involving race, discrimination, and justice are deeply personal. Because of that history, some feel uncomfortable seeing a black lawyer defending someone who has become the center of such a controversial public debate. They say it feels contradictory to the concerns many members of the communities have been raising, and at the same time, others have pushed back against that criticism. They argued that holding a lawyer responsible for a client's action misunderstands the role attorney plays in the justice system. So, according to this view, a lawyer's job is not to endorse a client's behavior, but to ensure that legal proceedings are fair and that constitutional rights are protected. The debate has now grown beyond the courtroom. It became a larger conversation about representation, perception, and how race influences the way people interrupt high profile cases. Some see the lawyer's involvement as completely normal and professional, while others see it as something that carries symbolic weight, whether intended or not. Whether and what is clear is that emotions remain high for many people. This isn't just another legal case, it's tied to larger questions about trust, accountability, and justice. And as the case continues, discussion about lawyers' roles are likely to remain major part of the public conversation. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my videos if you want to watch more videos, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video.
I made a post about the Carmelo Anthony case, and I've been thinking about it, and I want us all to read multiple articles about that case and also the Rick Chow case. And two things come up to me because the first one happened in Texas and the second one happened in South Carolina. Now in Texas, Anthony goes to a track meet. It's raining. He goes to opposing team's tent, and one of the kids that are in there is like, "Get out." He doesn't want to get out or whatever. They have words. Kid pushes him. Fight ensues, and Anthony has a knife on him and stabs the other kid. Unfortunately and tragically, that baby died. He's on trial for murder, and he was just convicted of 35 years for first-degree murder. Now, first-degree murder, from my understanding, and I feel like the lawyers need to chime in, is premeditated, meaning that you meant to do this, it was malicious, and, you thought about it, you knew it was wrong and did it anyway. You meant to take this person out. The next case I want you guys to think about is Rick Chow. Rick Chow is a grocery store owner in South Carolina, and he is accused of murder because a kid goes into his store. The kid leaves the store. He believes the kid has stolen a bottle of water. They chase the kid, and he shoots the kid in the back. He was on trial again for first-degree murder, and only first-degree murder. And he was just acquitted. No time. Now, what the jury did not know is this is not the first shooting that Mr. Chow has gotten himself involved in. And the kid that he was chasing was 14. Both of these cases involve black boys. And I had made a connection in a previous post, and I deleted it because it wasn't as clear as I wanted it to be. Because I believe that there is a malicious spirit that is trying to pull us back into Jim Crow, and there is a disregard for justice in general. And whenever there is a disregard for justice in general, it can be inflicted or imposed upon black people more harshly. And that means that we need to have a tighter look at our justice system to make sure that it is working correctly. Are we on juries? Are we accepting jury duty? Are we registering to vote so that we can be on juries? Are we electing our district attorneys, with the mind that they are going to be applying justice fairly? Are we, electing, circuit court judges with the idea that they are going to be having a mind towards justice? Because if not, then you're going to see things like this happen again and over again, and have other implications in how crimes are investigated, what is considered a crime, who is considered a criminal.